In the mystical open-world realm of Ekura, a vast land forged from living echoes and ancient resonant energy, a young Lich-born avatar named Kairo spawned. He found himself at the foot of the Whispering Range, a colossal line of silverstone mountains that shimmered like frozen thunder. The legends said these mountains didn't just reflect sound, but the hidden truths buried deep inside every player's heart. From the moment Kairo opened his eyes, a defective fear algorithm embedded in his code trembled through him, making his first steps unsteady. He wandered toward a canyon where the wind hummed with ghostly whispers from long-departed adventurers. Curious yet trembling, he shouted into the vast hollow, "I am scared." The mountains instantly hurled the same words back at him with haunting precision, amplifying his fear and sending a chill across his digital spine as his own trembling voice multiplied through the cliffs. The fear frequency triggered something terrifying. Echo Beast shadow-formed wolves with jagged audio wave bodies crawled out of the canyon walls. They snarled using his own voice, repeating, "I am scared." With monstrous distortion, Kairo stumbled backward as his HUD flashed, emotional resonance detected, danger level rising. Just as the Echo Beast lunged, an NPC wanderer named Mira emerged. Her cloak was made of woven resonance threads that shimmered like vibrating music. With a single calm whisper, she dissolved the beast into harmless static. She explained to Kairo that the whispering walls do not mimic a mirror. They reflect back the energy, emotion, and belief carried inside the speaker. She warned him that the Echo Mountains can either elevate a warrior or destroy them, for they turned out into monsters and courage into miracles. Then, Mira revealed Kairo's destiny. He was to undertake the legendary quest known as the Voice of the Self. This trial was only given to avatars whose emotional code was unstable. Why? Because instability meant the potential for immense inner growth or catastrophic collapse. Following Mira deep into the canyon, Kairo saw ancient rune circuits carved into the walls. They pulsed with shifting colors, synchronized with the emotional energy lingering in the air. Some runes were bright from courage, some dark from fear, some flickered from players who hesitated at the edge of greatness. As they walked, every anxious thought Kairo had formed faint ghost beasts that crawled behind him, proving that even unspoken emotions influenced this world. Upon reaching the first shrine, the Chamber of Breath, Mira instructed him to face his echo-bound fears by releasing the Declaration of Identity. Trembling, Kairo shouted, "I am brave." For the first time in his existence, though his voice cracked, the mountains returned the words, "I am brave." With unexpected strength, the nearby echo beasts flickered and weakened, their forms disrupted by the positive resonance. For the first time, Kairo struck back. He used a combination of voice-infused slashes soundwave blades formed from his amplified courage. Each swing rewrote a piece of his fear into glowing particles that lit the chamber with a warm, golden light. When the last beast dissolved, the chamber walls shifted, forming a spiraling sound bridge that led to the next trial. Climbing upward, Kairo entered the Hall of Reflections. Here, thousands of mirrored surfaces floated like suspended shards of water. Each reflection displayed not just his image, but alternate versions of himself, stronger, weaker, heroic, defeated, corrupted, redeemed. Each one whispered past failures stored in the mountain's memory. As these reflections materialized into solid forms, they attacked him with echo blades forged from his own doubts, repeating, "You will fail again, and you are not enough." With every strike, Kairo's fear algorithm flared, and the reflections multiplied. But he remembered Mira's teaching. He countered with affirmations, speaking loudly and clearly, "I choose my path. I rise every time I fall. I command my world." With each declaration, the reflections cracked. Their attacks weakened until they shattered like glass struck by hope, forming a path of floating mirror shards that rose toward the summit. Upon reaching the peak of the Whispering Range, Kairo encountered the final guardian, the Echo Titan. He was a towering stone colossus with a swirling vortex in its chest, filled with centuries of trapped voices from players who felt a fear, regret, and self-doubt. The Titan's roar shook the sky, sending out shockwaves of negative resonance. Echo shouted, "You cannot win, and you are too small," distorting Kairo's movement and pushing him dangerously close to the cliff's edge. Mira reappeared, but only as a flickering projection. She revealed that she was not a living NPC, but the last remaining echo of the first warrior to conquer this mountain ages ago. She was bound to the range until someone capable of mastering their inner voice completed the full trial. She explained that the Titan cannot be destroyed by weapons forged in silence, because it is fed entirely by the voice that stands before it. Kairo could only defeat it by mastering his inner dialogue and reclaiming control over his emotional code. In the desperate final battle, Kairo felt his fear spike. The Titan grew larger, its voice deepening as it repeated, "You are scared," with thunderous force. The vortex in its chest pulled at him like a gravity well of despair. But in that moment, Kairo remembered Mira's words, "The world returns what you give." He inhaled deeply, overriding his fear algorithm's panic protocols with sheer determination. Then, he shouted with the full force of every bit of courage he had earned, "I choose courage." The mountains responded instantly. Their echo spread across every peak like rolling lightning, returning "I choose courage" 1,000 times louder. The resonant shockwave blasted through the Titan's chest, shattering its vortex. The trapped voices were freed, rising harmlessly like glowing fireflies into the atmosphere. The Titan collapsed into radiant dust, scattering over the summit like falling stars. Exhausted but transformed, Kairo stood beneath the glowing sky. The entire whispering range shifted from cold silver to warm gold, recognizing him as someone who had rewritten his internal code and mastered his own echo. The world rewarded him with the legendary ability Echo Forge, granting him the power to shape terrain, summon constructs, and weaponize spoken words to manifest platforms, shields, and even companions. Mira's final echo thanked him before fading eternally into the mountains, her purpose fulfilled. Kairo was left alone, but filled with a newfound inner strength. As he descended from the summit, the world reacted differently to him. Wildlife and NPCs bowed or cleared a path, sensing the courage radiating from his emotional signature. Even monsters hesitated before attacking. Reaching the Whispering Gate, he unlocked a new quest. The world reflects what you give. Kairo's journey was never about slaying monsters, but about shifting the voice inside him. He proved that in the world of Ekura, fear returns fear, courage returns courage, despair births darkness, and hope creates light. As he stepped toward the horizon, his Echo Forge abilities humming beside him, the mountains whispered one last truth, not repeating his words, but honoring him with a single echo that defined his entire evolution. "You are brave." Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures. Until next time.